A very good day from myself, Devon Govender, and welcome to Speed Down Under. This is KZN's premier harness racing selection show, and it's proudly brought to you by Gallop TV. Of course, as usual, we are covering the race meeting from the headquarters in Western Australia at Gloucester Park in Perth. And we do have a suggested jackpot as well as a best bet lined up for you. And as usual, I'm joined by trainer, driver, as well as driving master Aldo Cordapasi. He's going to be taking us through his selections and previews. We greet you, Aldo. How are you doing?
Doing very well, thanks, Devon.
Had a good week thus far?
Yeah, steady. So, very wet and cold over here at the moment. But, hopefully the storm fronts have all passed through and we can have some nice weather for racing on the weekend.
Beautiful stuff, and it's glad, well, you definitely sound a lot better than you were last week, so that's very, very good.
Yeah, no, getting back on my feet again, which is good. Definitely knocked me for 6 this one.
Excellent stuff. And just taking a glance at the card, some of the races look very, very even, some of the earlier races.
Yeah, there's with the new handicapping system, it's made the racing very even, and there's probably 2 or 3 horses that can realistically win each of these races going forward. So selections aren't easy.
Well, Aldo has been bang on the button with his selections recently. The horses are running well, and hopefully we can point you in the right direction this week. Aldo, before we get stuck into the jackpot as well as the best bet, I was just having a look at race 2 last night and watching a few replays. And I've got 4 numbers for the quartet, and I've got space for 2 more. So I was wondering if you could give us your opinion. I'm just going to call those numbers out. That's 3, Alexandra the Great; 4, Excite Me; number 6, Akushla McCree; and then number 8, Chili Panta, our old friend, who's trading at around about $15. So 3, 4, 6, 8 thus far in race 2.
Yeah, look, a very even field. I'll throw in horses like Hunt the Magic and maybe Champagne Everyone. Champagne Everyone, I'd expect to improve over the next few weeks with a stable change. Hunt the Magic's a very dangerous horse off the right trip. Barrier 2, I think she'll park up on the speed and be very dangerous from there.
There you heard it from Aldo. We have to throw in at number 1, Hunt the Magic, into all your selection, and that's currently trading at around about $10 in the anti-post market. Of course, we will give you the updated betting on the South African tote once that's available for you this Friday. So the in-running quartet that we've worked out for you, I'm just going to call out those numbers in numerical order if you want to take a chance and box them. Numbers 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. We're going to take a chance with the quartet in race number 2. Let's get straight into those jackpot selections. And the first leg of the jackpot, we do have a banker in the form of number 1, Ardi by the Seaside. And this will be the best bet on the card. And this one looks very, very tough to beat from Barrier Gate 1, Elder.
Yeah, just wins this race in my opinion. There's no Penny Black or anything to put any pressure on her in this race. She leads, she wins. It's just a matter of the distance in which she wins by. She's a class above these.
There you heard it from Aldo. This is the class package, number 1, Ardi by the Seaside, and that will be the banker in the jackpot as well as the best bet. And Denny Roberts has been in great form. Hopefully she can deliver for us in the first leg of the jackpot. Moving on to race number 6, which is the second leg of the jackpot. It gets a little bit trickier now, and we've got the 4 numbers for you. Numbers 8, 2, 4, and 3. We'll start with number 8, Aldo. That is Al Waddell, who won a very good race in the last start.
Yeah, this horse is capable of being put into the race. Barrier Draw probably makes it a little bit difficult for him, but I think he's probably got the class on the rest of these runners.
And then I like the chances of number 4, that's Feeling Aces for Matthew Scott. Does represent a little bit of value maybe for the placings and the trifectas.
Yeah, horse I think will find probably the front early and then look for a trail or something. That'll bring him into total in the top 3 place gettings, and if they run hard, maybe bring him in as a winning chance.
There you heard it from Aldo. 8, 2, 4 and 3 are our numbers in the second leg of the jackpot, and number 4 Feeling Aces could represent a bit of value for the trifectas and quartets, and then Healthy Respect for number 3 Valhallamus, who can certainly win a race of this nature. So 8, 2, 4 and 3 in the second leg of the jackpot. Moving on to the third leg of the jackpot, numbers 5, 6 and 7, and we'll start with number 5 Aldo. Skip a beat. The New Zealand bred form is outstanding.
Yeah, form's very solid, and I think they should be winning this race.
That is number 5, Skip a Beat. Aldo was short and sweet there. We have backed it up with the numbers 6 and 7. That is She's a Tiny Dancer as well as Lady Camel. Maybe throw that into the trifectas and quartets. But we think that number 5, Skip a Beat, could be the likely winner here in the third leg of the jackpot. Has been in really good form. Moving on to the last leg of the jackpot, just the 2 numbers, numbers 1 and 2. And we're going to start with Block Jog for Kyle Harper in the driver's seat. This one trading at around about $2.40, Aldo. Very good last run when finishing second.
Yeah, this is your Cornella. Blockjaw will lead. Not 100% genuine finding the line, hence why I put the 2 in to maybe just out sprint him and get him on the line. But definitely looks like a winnable race for Blockjaw. But I strongly believe this is it, Quinella, those 2.
There you heard it from Aldo. He's given us a bit of confidence for that Quinella, and we're not going to go straight line. We're going to box it, because you heard from Aldo, Mania could grab this one on the line, and that's currently trading at around about $5.50 in the anti-post market, and you could get some value there if number 2 manages to topple number 1, that is Mania. But our narrow first selection is number 1, Block Jog, who is the current favorite at around about $2.40. So the last leg of the jackpot, numbers 1 and 2, and then we've run through the best bet for you, which is in the first leg of the jackpot. That slide is going to come up on screen there. First leg, number 1. Second leg, 8, 2, 4 and 3. Third leg, 5, 6 and 7. And the last leg, numbers 1 and 2. Healthy Respect for number 2 there, that is Mania. You heard it from Aldo. This could be the Quinella of the day. So take a chance and box those 2 numbers. Then the best bet in race 5, which is the banker, that is RD by the Seaside. So that's our jackpot and best bet. And just recapping the quartet in race number 2, we're going to be boxing all of numbers 1, 3, 4, 6, 7 and 8. That is the quartet as well as the jackpot on screen and the best bet. Aldo, it's always a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks so much for your time and contribution, and hopefully we can land the jackpot and best bet as well as the quartet this week.
My pleasure, Devon, and good punting, everyone.
Thanks to trainer-driver Aldo Kodopasi for providing us with his selections there. Hopefully we can land this quartet, jackpot and best bet come Friday.